This is ITTV.
Every trade show that we attend, and of course we literally travel the world covering consumer tech, we always stop by the Panasonic exhibits because there's always cool stuff to talk about. Well, here in Boston this week with IACP, no exception. They have more cool things that we've run across. Joining us now is Kjeld Lindsted with Panasonic, and actually what a division called Cirrus by Panasonic. Tell me what that is, and then let's get into what it is you do.
Yeah, fantastic. So Cirrus by Panasonic is a connected vehicle platform. So we're working with DOTs and first responder agencies, police, fire, ambulance, to try to improve safety on public roadways. So we're dealing with things like traffic signal priority for fire trucks, trying to make sure we keep them safe in the intersection, reduce congestion. On the DOT side, we're looking at statistics reporting, collecting metrics on what's happening on the roadway. So kind of a whole constellation of solutions. And we're using the Toughbook as a key component of that now. So expanding out, using the Toughbook as a critical piece of that edge hardware already in vehicles, so we can pull back the information that we need to make all these different solutions possible.
So traffic light priority for fire, as an example, is not a rumor. It actually happens and it works, right? Does the fire truck driver hit a button approaching an intersection so it'll turn green? Is that how it works?
Oh, that's the gist of it. So it's absolutely a real technology. You probably heard there's sort of this rumor that if you flash your headlights at the traffic signal, you're going to get a green light. That doesn't work. That hasn't been true since the 50s. It was at one point, though. It was a real approach. It was actually a detector up on the bar that would see the lights of the approaching fire truck. And so you could, at one point back in time, you could flash your headlights and simulate that. Today, it's all digital technology. We use GPS tracking on the vehicle, and it's all secured digital through the cloud. So we're not using the headlights anymore.
But what a shame, because come on, as drivers, we'd all like to just say, no, green light, green light, green light, enough already. But we can't probably get one of these, right?
No, you can't. So there's actually laws in most states that prevent misuse of these kinds of technologies. But it's a very real thing, and it helps. There's a statistic that for every 1 minute in reduction in response time, you have a 10% improvement in survival rate for a heart attack victim. Right? That's kind of the statistic we look at. So we shave 30 seconds off of a route for a fire truck. Typical response time is 4 to 6 minutes somewhere. We take 30 seconds off of that. We've made a meaningful difference, right? And so that we're saving lives.
You don't do this so much for police vehicles, though, right? It's really fire trucks and ambulance type scenarios, EMS.
Yeah, that's typically true. It's possible to do it for police vehicles. There's nothing technically different about it, but as a matter of policy, there are a whole lot more police vehicles than there are fire vehicles, and you can really kind of snarl traffic if you do too much of this preemption stuff, and so it ends up being a policy decision. Yeah.
And it makes sense. I'm a former police officer for many years, and while it would be nice, it would make a mess, because you got multiple officers frequently arriving. And who gets the green light?
Well, one of the things that's unique about our platform is the way we do this is a little different than in the past. So, legacy technology, you really didn't know if it was working at the edge, right? And you couldn't track who was using it. And so using our platform, you can keep all those statistics handy. So you know exactly who triggered it, when, how many times, to what effect. And so we have a better handle on, is it being misused or overused? Is it working? Is it producing a result? Right.
And you say you work with the Toughbooks in order to do that. How important is it that they be Toughbooks at that point, and why does it help with that?
Yeah, so the Toughbooks have a lot of nice features. So we need a few core pieces of data, and we can get them from different places, right? We do this in different kinds of edge technology. So we need vehicle location, we need status of the light bar, and we need to know something about the status of the vehicle. Is it in the forward drive gear, for example? These are all triggers that we use. So you asked me, does the fire truck driver push a button? No, it's all automated. So if they're in a forward drive gear, they're in the right code response mode, the lights are on, they're moving, the system's automatically going to create that trigger for them. The Toughbook gives us a lot of that core data. So we've got GPS built in, we've got the connectivity to the cloud that we need, and we've got compute power to run some of the edge logic that we need. So it gives us all those kind of nice core pieces, and they're already in most of the vehicles out there, right? So we have that footprint that already exists, and we can just connect to it with our software, and off we go.
Plus, they're Toughbooks, so they're going to handle this ruggedness that we're seeing even on the video behind you of fire trucks and what has to happen and so forth. So it's a win-win for everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are harsh environments. A lot's going on. You're in and out of the vehicle frequently. You don't want the laptop breaking down because it's a key piece of everything that you're doing in that vehicle. Yeah.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. It's very cool, and it's more importantly cool to know that fire trucks and EMS can get to us faster using this technology from Cirrus by Panasonic. So thanks.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Our next guest here in the Panasonic exhibit is the Director of Government. Boy, I wish we could direct a government. That'd be a whole other opportunity. Alex Nollmann. Alex, welcome back into Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for stopping by today.
Oh, absolutely. As I mentioned in our last segment, anytime, anywhere, we always stop by Panasonic because you always have cool things to talk about. And what might this be that we're in front of now?
So today I wanted to share with you our second generation Toughbook 40. Panasonic has been making rugged computers for almost 30 years now. I like to say we kind of invented the market, and Toughbook's become very synonymous, but we're not the only game in town anymore. Over the years, a lot of people have started introducing rugged products. So what we did...
But you're still the best game in town as far as I'm concerned.
Still the best game in town, and we want to prove it now. So what we did, and the factory does not like this, but we built a completely transparent Toughbook, so there's no more secrets. Take a look.
The factory says you're giving it all away.
Exactly, and it works. It's a fully operational laptop. We did a tablet version as well. But we want our clients and our potential clients to be able to see what they're getting and understand that 30 years of engineering, 30 years of design, 30 years of innovation based on the feedback from our law enforcement customers goes into these products. So yes, anybody can make a rugged computer, but it's not a Toughbook.
Exactly, and to be able to see the guts, if you will, and again, reminding anybody listening on the radio or the podcast, you've got to come by at intotomorrow.com and make sure you see what we're talking about here with Alex. This is pretty awesome, and this is, you said the Toughbook 40?
This is the Toughbook 40. It's our second generation. It's the first fully rugged AI-enabled laptop in the market. It's the first time that we're able to take bleeding edge computing technology and bring it to the front line. Hot environments, wet environments, high vibration, places you wouldn't normally think of a computer, let alone something as powerful as an AI-enabled chipset.
And where does the AI enabling come in, and how does that help not only police and fire, but military and even consumers?
Absolutely. So AI is all about decision making, taking tremendous amounts of data, processing it, and then letting officers, consumers, anybody make quick decisions. All that takes a lot of thought, a lot of horsepower. Normally when consumer AI, that's all done in the cloud. But when you're out on the streets and you're in a neighborhood or you're on a battlefield, you don't have that luxury. So you have to be able to do that computing at the front line. And that's really where the Toughbook 40 shines with that horsepower. But more importantly, we've created a build your own Toughbook model where we've created all these different X packs. So consumers and clients and everybody can order their Toughbook the way they need it today, but then they can customize it and add a fingerprint scanner, add a DVD Blu-ray player, even add an old serial port for some of our utility customers that are still
Most companies say serial ports, we can't do that. Well, you can.
Exactly. When you build your own computers and your own technology, you can do things like take a 20-year-old component and integrate it into a modern computer because people still need it and people are still using it. So what this allows you to do is all these parts are field installable, so somebody can customize their unit on the fly, or if they're being deployed on a special mission, or they're responding to a hurricane and they need to add more memory or more storage space, they can pop in an extra drive or an extra gasket and get going without having to have any tools.
Love it. I mean, really is customizable in every way you can think of.
Exactly. On this device, there's 4 different areas that you can add these different modules, and they can just replace what's on there. And being able to maximize your investment and really get the most out of the device and be able to do multiple jobs at the same time.
So everything from, again, police and fire, law enforcement applications to video producers, for example, with what we're doing. Yeah. You can change modules to do what you need. It might be that you need much more hard drive space. Easy to do. Exactly.
And you're right about the video processing. If you add a second memory stick into here, it unlocks the Intel Arc graphics processor, which now you can start doing augmented reality. All these different things that we never really thought you'd be able to do with a rugged laptop, especially in a harsh or hot environment. So it really opens the world up for these guys that are out deployed. They're out there keeping our friends safe, our family safe, and being able to bring the technology to them to let them do their job as efficiently and safely as possible is really what Panasonic and Toughbook are all about.
For sure, and the fact that it's in most police and fire vehicles isn't a bad thing either. You know, go ahead, peek through the window of a parked police car, and you're going to see a Toughbook, most likely.
Absolutely. That's what we hope for.
And is the Toughbook 40 available now, and is there a retail suggested price?
Yes, so the Toughbook 40 started shipping earlier this year. As far as pricing, it really depends on the contracts and the purchasing vehicles, but somewhere in the $2,500 to $3,500 range, depending on how you configure it. But it really is, you can get into one at a very affordable price and then add on the features as you need them, or use, different grants can apply for different modules depending on how the device is used, and it really unlocks great ways. Our team would love to help you look for grants, help you do some research. We can even write the grant for you and put that together. And our mission is to get as much technology into the front lines to keep our friends safe as we can.
If there were only a grant for broadcasters, well, we'll have to work on something like that. Alex, as always, you're a delight to chat with, and you always have cool new stuff to share with us. So we almost walk by and say, well, what could they possibly have that's new? Well, you have stuff that's new, always, and you don't let us down. We appreciate that very much. Director of Government. How do you direct the government?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
But it's a cool title, and it's on his business card. We're back with more. Panasonic.com. Is there also a Toughbook website?
Toughbook.com. Yep, toughbook.com.
There you go. We'll get you there when you visit us at intotomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. More from Boston and the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference right after this on the Advanced Media Network.